our All-Star break, but excited to have all you in here to talk some sports, hear what your takes were on the Home Run Derby, obviously hear about if any of you guys are putting some money down on the All-Star game tonight. Let us know. But Fumble Sports, we promise that we're live every single day, and that's what we are. But would love to get your questions and comments and reactions and everything else. So Fumble Sports, we're not in our normal setup. We are in Massachusetts today, and unfortunately, that means we have some crappy internet. So that does mean we had to go on our phone, had to do some other maneuvers. So not our normal setup with the screen behind us, but we, as always, want to be live for you guys every single day so you guys can talk sports, be a part of the sports conversation here at Fumble success for MLB. I thought it was once again a demonstration that it is the best event across all the major sports, and their all-star weekends or all-star events. The dunk contest at this point is made up of guys in the G League. The three-point contest has become more entertaining, but still, there is nothing like seeing a home run. Now, I did see on Awful Announcing some people complaining about the setup now versus in the past. The past, if you didn't remember, each home run hitter got 10 outs, which is every time you hit you last night's formats. I want to see home runs. I don't want to see one home run that goes 450 feet or 470 feet. I want to see as many home runs as possible. So what's interesting to me is that there were some people out there last night in baseball fandom world in which they were actually saying they like the old format more. Losers, old school losers, because I thought the old format was boring. I thought it didn't bring enough of the actual home run derby alive. I want to see Vlad Guerrero Jr. swing a baseball bat until his arms fall off, and that's what almost happened last night. So I actually loved the home run derby last night. I liked the format, and more importantly, we got stars in the home run derby. LeBron James has never had the basketballs to go into the dunk contest. But what did we get last night? We got Vlad Guerrero Jr., we got Pete Alonso, we got Julio Rodriguez, we got stars of the game participating, Mookie Betts. Even though we lost, Mookie Betts went out there and swung the bat. Hey, LeBron, ever want to step into a dunk contest, you punk bitch? That said, I definitely like the idea of stars in MLB participating in this event because it's maximum amount of entertainment for real baseball fans. I wouldn't change the format. I wouldn't go back to the 10 outs. I don't think that was the best way to actually bring the experience of home runs to the fans. I thought it slowed things down. And to the classic line from The Simpsons, Mark McGuire, hey, do you want to hear the truth about a conspiracy, or do you want to watch me hit some dingers? The answer is I want to see you hit some dingers. That's what we got last night. I thought it was a massive success for Major League Baseball. Really loved the home run derby. Like the format. If you don't like it, fine. Go watch reruns on YouTube. I missed the opportunity to see Mark McGuire at Fenway Park swing the bat as many times as possible to hit home runs in a 3-minute span. We lost out. So for me, I'm actually absolutely a fan of the new format. I thought that was a much better format. So I'm happy with the changes Major League Baseball has made. the same competitive, the best all-star weekend or all-star events of any major sport, at least in North America. Let us know what you guys thought of the Home Run Derby last night. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Do you like the new format? Do you like the old format? Throw those comments in the chat. Would love to know what you guys think. By the way, LRK425, great to see you in the show. Did we have a show yesterday? Yes, we did, actually. We jumped on TikTok Live at 12 o'clock. We are on TikTok Live, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. That said, yes, we are not on our normal setup. Some issues on our side of things, so we are doing it in a non-normal way. So I appreciate all those who are joining the show. Throw your comments in the chat. As you can see, we're just hanging out, talking sports. Hope you guys are going to enjoy it. Be with us for the next, I don't know, we'll see how long the show goes. Half hour, hour. We'll see how long you guys actually want to talk sports for. But we're talking about the All-Star Game, the Home Run Derby. What'd you guys think? I actually had 2 bets down on the Home Run Derby. Both of my tickets busted. Had Adolis Garcia, who had like the worst pitcher of all time throwing to him. No celebrity shots today, LRK425. We're not in our normal setup. There are no games going on. Maybe there's a WNBA game. I'm not even aware. So no celebrity shots today, LRK425. If you didn't get the hint by our setup, if you didn't get the hint by the fact that there's really no sporting events going on, there, I just told you no celebrity shots today. We will get back to our celebrity shots contest later this week when Major League Baseball resumes. We will get back to our celebrity shot contest. I know why LRK425 wants the contest to get back underway is because he's in the leader seat. He's in the number 1 spot. So we know LRK425 definitely wants to get back to that competition, getting some winners up on the board. Appreciate all those who have been participating in that contest. We are going to continue the contest after the All-Star break. And additionally, I am already looking ahead to August. We will do a celebrity shot contest in August, a no chalk celebrity shot contest, a no chalk celebrity shot contest in August. Again, make sure you're subscribing. I am starting to put together that survivor pool for all of our subscribers. Alvaro, I had 2 picks for the Home Run Derby. Vlad and Randy, oh, you had it good last night. I actually went out with a couple friends. Funny enough, I'm the guy who talks sports all the time, and I picked Adolis Garcia and Luis Robert Jr. Both of those guys busted. My 2 buddies, one picked Vlad Guerrero Jr., one picked Randy, so didn't I look like the fool? But that said, I thought it was incredibly entertaining. I was disappointed that Adolis Garcia did not get a better opportunity. He is an amazing home run hitter. He's got great power, but the Home Run Derby is about 2 things. It is about the strength and ability and power of the hitter. It is also critically important to have a good BP pitcher. And unfortunately, Adolis Garcia's BP pitcher was god-awful, terrible, didn't throw consistently into one spot. I felt like he took more pitches in that at-bat than he has taken over the last week of actual games. So I thought he was terrible. I thought actually one of the reasons Julio Rodriguez hit 41 is that BP pitcher and him have such amazing chemistry. The consistency of those throws going right into where Julio Rodriguez likes to hit his home runs, where his swing path goes. I thought that made a big difference. So I was disappointed in my Adolis Garcia. It busted, but I really don't feel like it was because of him or because of the competition. It's because his pitcher was god-awful. That said, Luis Robert, he didn't disappoint me. He was fantastic, even though he ultimately busted. Alvaro, I had a great time. How could I have a bad time watching home runs? The most American thing is watching home runs, and that's what I got to do. I had a great time watching it with some friends. Jorge, yo, what is up? Appreciate all those who are joining us. As I promised, But Fumble Sports will be live every single day starting at 12 p.m. We'll do our show. I don't know how long the show is going to go today, but that said, I promised you guys, But Fumble Sports Derby last night. What are your thoughts on the All-Star game tonight? Is anyone pulling for a certain side? Anyone putting some bets down? I'm not usually one to bet on all-star games because it is a collection of ultimate outliers. There's no consistency. There's no history. There are no trends. There's no data to fall back on. So of all things, I won't bet on the all-star game. I'll watch it for entertainment. Maybe if there was a player prop bet, I could put it down. But even those, you really don't know the matchups. You don't know how the managers are going to play it. So with that said, I would advise staying away from putting money down on an all-star game. However, if you're a D-gen who wants to get those dollars down, I'm not going to talk you out of it. So hope you enjoyed tonight's action. Let us know. Are you pulling for a side? What do you think? Randy should have won. He didn't take his time for his extra 30 seconds. Is that true? Well, he didn't hit the 440. Joining us, make sure you're hitting that follow button. Make sure you're part of this amazing Butt Fumble Sports community because we are every single day. Tony watching on YouTube, no bets today. Like I said, not going to put a bet down on the games today, on the All-Star game today. Not going to touch it. Don't trust All-Star games. Bad for trends, not good data, so not going to touch this one. This is going to be pure entertainment for me tonight. That said, there is a lull in the sport. At the MLB All-Star break, ESPN takes its time off. Everyone seems to kind of relax a little bit. So with that said, I will also be relaxing a little bit on this one. Will not be putting any money down. I will be taking a few days off. We'll still be live every day, as you guys know. But I'm going to take a couple days off for my bets. Let's just keep our capital in our pocket, wait for games to get back started, and then we can start putting our bets down. But I'm not going to throw down any money on any SB's bets or on any MLB All-Star Game bets. So make sure you guys are hitting that follow button. Make sure you're a part of this community. We actually have an NFL show tonight. So if you guys want to get the latest NFL conversation, Butt Fumble Sports is going to be live every day at 12 p.m. Eastern. Every day, every day, every day. Butt Fumble Sports will be live at 12 p.m. Monday through Monday. We're going every single day, Monday through Sunday, Sunday through Sunday. Butt Fumble Sports is going to be live every single day. Just join us at 12 p.m. So if you're ever curious about when Fumble Sports will be live, rain, shine, sleet, snow, it don't matter. We will find a way to get live to talk sports with you guys every single day. So make sure you're hitting that follow button. Make sure you're a part of this amazing community. We are getting into fantasy football season. I have started to put together my rankings, my auction draft values. I am really excited to dive into those. We are actually going to be doing a show later this week in which I will be talking about the positions in fantasy football and how I'm valuing them. Because I'm a big auction draft guy. Snake drafts, they're okay, but I love a good auction draft. And the values there, that's how you can take advantage of, let's put it simply, the stooges in your fantasy league. How do you outplay them in the draft? I'll show you how by looking at the values of the players that you'll want to target and how you can build the best roster for the exact amount of money that you have, no matter the salary cap. Alvaro, any summer league leans? Nope, not touching summer league. Funny enough, summer league to me, much like an all-star game, where's the data I can pull from? Where's the trend? If you guys watch Butt Fumble Sports, you know, I don't pull from my gut. I don't just go off the top of my head going, I like this team or I like this guy, so let's put some money down on it. Quite the contrary. Butt Fumble Sports looks at data, analytics, and trends to try to find you the best bets every single day, the best fantasy plays every single day. So if there isn't data there to back it up, I am simply going to tell you we're not touching it. If I don't have good information to give you an informed play, nope, not going to tell you to put your money on it. So the Summer League, not something I like to bet. I will say the All-Star Game as well, not something I like to bet. So today's show is more about ranting about sports, what's going on. Northwestern, no one has brought up Northwestern firing its head coach yet, so we'll obviously talk about that in a little bit. But that's what we're here for today, ranting about sports, talking about sports. Speaking of fantasy, I am doing a Dynasty League for the first time with my friends. I'm a huge fan of Dynasty Leagues, really love them, think they're a lot of fun, but it's a much different strategy, Alvaro. You really are building, not just for this year, but for the future. 10-team Dynasty League, and I have the second overall pick. Kind of unfortunate because overall pick in a Dynasty League, and I know for sure that he's going to be a star running back in 2-3 years. Can't say that about Christian McCaffrey. I could see that those legs blowing up over the next year and a half. I can't. There's one guy actually that I would say I have a bit more optimism about for like a Dynasty League as a running back, and it's actually Jonathan Taylor. This year, he may not be as good because I think the boxes will be loaded with Anthony Richardson as the quarterback, but I think Jonathan Taylor is going to have a better year than he did last year. He's going to stay healthy. I think Richardson over time will give him opportunities to actually face some tougher defense, some defenses that are more susceptible to being attacked via the run. So very tough to actually draft a Dynasty League this year because there isn't that classic lock them in and say, no matter what, that's who I want. A little bit tricky now. Should I trade down? The draft is in 20 days. Alvaro, the answer I would say is absolutely, but it depends on how you guys do trades in a Dynasty League. If you have the where you want to have your value, where it's so important for you to actually have a lot of draft capital, is going to be in those middle rounds because how you fill out the remainder of the roster, the second wide receiver, the second running back, your tight end, where you build out your depth too for your bench. I think that's going to. So actually, if I were you, I would trade back in that Dynasty League. Having the second overall pick in that Dynasty League actually doesn't get you that much. I think it would be better to move up in some of those middle rounds, and that way you can really do like this year from a superstar perspective when we talk about fantasy is Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler has been a stud for fantasy owners over contract year, so he is personally motivated to have a great year. And 3, there are a lot of football players who are aware of fantasy football and then kind of shrug it off and like don't take it seriously. Don't like that fans kind of tweet at him, hey, you blew up my fantasy league or you didn't do enough to help me out. Austin Eckler freaking loves his fantasy owners. He always my fantasy owners to win their league. I know that sounds like a small thing, but actually that tells me that guy's aware of what I'm doing. That guy's rooting for me like I'm rooting for him. Austin Eckler, by the way, he actually has a pretty good history of staying healthy. So Austin Eckler would probably be a guy I'd target around the top 3-4 picks in my draft. As I mentioned a moment ago, Jonathan Taylor, Nick Chubb would be another one. There are a few that I have my eye on, but again, I don't think this is a year for first overall picks. I think this is a year to have depth. I'd rather have a deeper team this season than almost any year I've ever played fantasy because, again, between injuries And just between how the offenses are changing, running backs aren't being relied on the same way. We're in such a pass-happy NFL. I really want to have depth. I want to have wide receivers and tight ends that could deliver for me. And of course, then I want my depth at running back because injuries will happen. Make sure you guys are following us. Hit that follow button. If you're not already, make sure you're part of this great community. That's a great call. And this is why dynasty leagues are really tricky because Justin Fields is someone who in the draft than you would draft him in a normal regular annual season league. Justin Fields has long-term potential. You want to lock and Justin Fields is on that fringe. But Justin Fields, you don't want to draft him too early because this year I still think they're going to be growing pains. I don't think he's going to make this MVP-like leap that some people are claiming. So you want to take him if you're drafting towards the end of a first round, second round. That's where I might take him. But again, that means he's your quarterback. That could be painful. So am I really big on Justin Fields for a dynasty league? I actually like a few more running backs are massively important. That's one of the reasons I also like Austin Eckler. He's involved in the passing game as much as he is in the running game. So I like that call, JT. That's a good one. We're talking some fantasy football, just some early thoughts. I know some of you guys are getting your mock drafts together, just now starting to look at where your teams will be drafting or what some of the players that you're considering. Like I mentioned, I'm putting together my models and spreadsheets, looking at the auction draft values for the players that I want to target. I will be going through all those throughout this week. So if you guys want good fantasy football information, make sure you're following Butt Fumble Sports. We are going to talk a ton of fantasy football over the next 8 weeks. By the way, we're going to talk through the end of the year, but fantasy football draft specifically next 7-8 weeks. It is time, everybody, to get your fantasy drafts together. So we talked some MLB home run derby. We talked some fantasy football. But additionally, there is a massive story that hit the sports world yesterday, and that is that Northwestern fired its head coach after an internal investigation revealed some kind of shocking and disturbing notes about hazing that was going on at Northwestern. And this is one of the more bizarre circumstances because this came out of nowhere, and I hate to draw comparisons like this, but there is something about this that is comparable to Penn State in that it's a program that I think people hold in such high regard that they never would have anticipated a story like this coming out of that institution. But unfortunately, Northwestern, a place that is so highly regarded for intellect, not for its sports, but for its intellect, for its alumni, for where it is in terms of, it's one of the best academic institutions in the country. I think so highly of Northwestern. And for a long time, they really haven't had the sports up to the same level as the rest of the competition in the Big Ten. Basketball, football, they're always fighting for respect. They're fighting to be 500. They're fighting to kind of be in the conversation, but they're not a legitimate contender for Big Ten champion. So you would think a program like that would run clean because they don't have the pressure of an Ohio State or a Michigan or an Alabama or a Georgia or a USC where it's win or die. It's win or lose money. It's win or you don't have a school identity. Northwestern's identity is intelligence. Northwestern's identity is like good journalism, a good law school, a good business school, a great alumni base, good international programs. Like Northwestern doesn't need to rely on its football program for respectability. So it's so stunning to me recruit. You don't have to have hazing. You don't have to put your program through some of the things that, look, Alabama, it is win or death to Alabama football fans. That's not the case with Northwestern. Michael Wilbon on ESPN is a massive Northwestern fan. He's a booster. He's a supporter. Do you think Michael Wilbon would have been willing to put up with what's coming out of this report to get a few extra wins out of the Northwestern football program? Absolutely not. This is stunning to me. And again, this would be like learning that Stanford had a scandal like this. Like Stanford and to try to like motivate your players or all of that. So I'm just stunned by all of it. Let's see some of your comments. Bryant, I don't believe the allegation per player made it seem. I don't really like, Bryant, it very, very differently. I also want to make note that clearly this was, I don't want to say more known, but it wasn't being taken as seriously, whatever was going on for a while. This really was broken by the students at the journalism school at Northwestern. If not for the work of the student journalists and their professors, does this story actually get out there? Does Northwestern actually have the kind of investigation that leads to Fitzgerald being fired? So for a number of people, for a number of reasons, I am curious what's going to happen. Brian, it's very interesting because that is the one thing I don't. Response comparison, but I will. Penn State. I think Joe Paterno was both responsible, he was, and I actually think he knew. I actually think that Joe Pa knew enough where he wasn't blind. He wasn't naive to it. Now, that's Penn State. That's its own awful situation. Let's put that over to the side. Northwestern, I think Pat Fitzgerald was responsible. I think he should have known. And if he didn't, that is a massive strike against him. But was Pat Fitzgerald aware of all that was going on? That is what I still want to see come out over the coming days, because Pat Fitzgerald, will he get a new job? Will he get to coach in college football? That'll be learned over the next few days, and the extent to which he knew about what was going on in his program. Should he have known? Yes. Did he know? That is what I still want to find out over the next few days. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. We're talking everything around the world of sports, so hope you guys are enjoying this show of Butt Fumble Sports' daily show. Make sure you're hitting that follow button. That way you can join us every single day. Tony, shout out to the NASCAR guy. Yeah, our NASCAR expert is fire, everybody. Our NASCAR expert brings it. If you didn't check it, he did say to take William Bryan for the pick, Byron, for your pick this past weekend at Atlanta Motor Speedway. No, when I say that we have a NASCAR expert, I freaking mean it. Our NASCAR expert, I don't want to give out his name because he actually doesn't want his name being known, but I call him our NASCAR expert from Pit Row. He brings the absolute best knowledge I have ever met. I worked at Fox Sports. I worked with people who knew NASCAR, who worked on Race Hub, who worked on NASCAR events. I have never met anyone ever in my time in sports media who knows NASCAR betting as well as our NASCAR expert. And that's not me overhyping him. That's his track record. The dude is hitting at like 50% of the races that he's called this year, which is an insane rate given that drivers, NASCAR betting goes off at plus money. That would be like me calling half of the home run hitters that I give out. That's a crazy, insane rate. Great return on your money. So if you're not putting a unit down on our NASCAR experts picks every week, you are missing out. He will join us later this week, give his picks for the races coming up this week. So everybody, make sure you follow us. Check out those videos when we post them. We also do an interview with our NASCAR expert every week, a 15-minute segment. You don't want to miss that. So guys, make sure you follow us because again, as Tony brings up on YouTube, our NASCAR expert is cash money in your pocket giving out his picks. And that's not me overhyping it. The numbers back it up. Dante, I ran across Dennis Rodman on Sunday. Dante, of all the random people you could run across, Dennis Rodman is up there. Dante, I'm curious, where'd you see Dennis Rodman? Where'd you run across him? Did you say hi? Did you congratulate him on his daughter's amazing performance and a couple of goals the other day? His daughter is an outstanding soccer player, if you didn't know. So everybody out there, Dante, it's story time. Let us know. Where did you run into Dennis Rodman? Would love to know about that. Tony, I'm in a dynasty auction league. It's pretty sweet. Tony, that is my kind of league. If you have an opening in that league, consider me a wannabe member because I love auction drafts. I like dynasty leagues. I'm in like 5 leagues already, but I'm all about it. For all of those watching the show on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick, appreciate you guys being with us. Make sure you're hitting that follow button. Make sure you're with us every single day because Butt Fumble Sports is live every single day. We talk sports every day. So if you guys are looking for great sports conversation, you don't need to go to your local radio. You don't need to go to national radio. You don't need to go on TV. Just go to TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, or Kick and look up Butt Fumble Sports because every single day we are live talking sports with real fans just like you. Brian, NFL coaching target. I think it's going to be pretty hard for him to get a job now in the NFL after that. We'll see. I think he needs kind of a reformation project that the kind of like goes to Alabama and coaches with Saban for a year. Hope you guys are enjoying your Tuesday afternoon. We obviously have the MLB All-Star Game tonight. So if you guys want to talk about the MLB All-Star Game, make sure you get those comments in. Make sure you get those picks. Not going to have a long show today. Just going to be on for a little bit of time. So appreciate all you guys being with us. As always, we want to come on, talk about what's going on in the world of sports. Home Run Derby last night. And, of course, the All-Star Game tonight. My thoughts on Pat Fitzgerald and the mess at Northwestern. So for a number of topics out there. Also, at Wimbledon, a great upset today. So if you are catching up on Wimbledon, there was a great upset in the women's side of the bracket. So plenty of things going on in the sports world. That's what I wanted to touch on today. Very short show, only a half hour. If you guys want to join us for our NFL show tonight, it will be on at 7 p.m. Eastern, everybody. 7 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you're joining us tonight at 7 p.m. We will be live for our NFL Weekly Show, so make sure you're joining us on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. We will be live at 7 p.m. Eastern tonight for our NFL show. Appreciate all those who are with us for this very condensed, short version of the Butt Fumble Sports Daily Show. We are going to be live every single day. You never miss our show. Just show up at 12 p.m. Eastern, and we'll be live. Great seeing everybody. Hope you have a wonderful day. As I say at the end of every show, I hope you stay healthy. I hope you stay safe. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon and evening. Enjoy the All-Star Game tonight and join us at 7 p.m. Eastern on TikTok Live, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, as well as Twitter Spaces as we go through the NFL every single week, every Tuesday. We